Hi kids, in today's video we are going to start with the unit number 2, which is about developmental phases in the living things. So this chapter is all about the phases of development in the living things. So let's start. The offspring of all the living things resemble their parents to some extent. Animals and plants resemble their parents. Humans' offsprings resemble humans, and the mango plant is similar to a mango tree. So kids, the first word here is offspring. It means children or child or kids. So the unit says that the kids of all the living things, they have their resemblance. They match with their parents to some extent. Both animals and plants resemble their parents, right? So the example here given is that mango plant is similar to a mango tree. It's not possible that on a plant of apple the tree should be like mango. So definitely the roots should remain the same. So the horse and foal, the elephant and calf, the hen and chicks, the cat and kittens, these are the offsprings of some animals. Offsprings of some animals, when hatched from eggs, do not resemble their parents in the beginning, but after some time their shapes resemble their parents. Hatched, another sort of difficult word. It means to take baby out from the egg. When the egg is actually broken but not really broken. So the literal meaning of this word hatched is take out. So when kids of some animals are taken out from their eggs in the beginning of after their birth and coming out from the eggshell, they do not resemble with their parents, but after some time, sometimes after some days, they start resembling with their parents, especially their shape. On the next page, we have a life cycle of a butterfly, which is very important, so that we can understand what is really the life cycle of a butterfly. First of all, eggs, they are generated. Then the eggs become larva. Next phase, the third phase is pupa. The larva becomes pupa. And then the final stage is of an adult butterfly. So we can see there are 4 developmental phases. First one is when the eggs are generated. Second one is when the larva is developed. And the third one when larva is converted into pupa. And then the last one is when the adult butterfly is shaped. So this is the life cycle of a butterfly. Next we have life cycle of a frog. It has also 4 developmental phases. First is definitely the eggs. Second one is again as we saw over here, this is larva. Here this is also larva but in the form of a tadpole because it is about a frog. Then tadpole changing shape of to become an adult frog. So the first phase is changing shape of tadpole to become an adult frog. So we have seen here 2 basically life cycles or developmental cycle of, first one is of butterfly, for which we have again 4 developmental phases. First egg, it starts with the eggs, then becomes larva, larva is converted into pupa and then becomes a butterfly that is adult. Similarly, life cycle of a frog started with eggs, the eggs converted into larva or tadpole, then a tadpole changes the shape to become an adult frog. So the purpose of this basically the chapter is to understand the stages of living things or living being human life, to understand that where it started and what it becomes as a final product. The hen lays eggs. She sits on eggs for 21 days. It is called incubation. After 21 days, chickens hatch from eggs. So basically, not in every of the living being, the process of life cycle is same. It is somewhat changed. As you can read, in the case of a hen who lays eggs, she sits on her eggs for 21 days, and this process is called incubation. So let's highlight it. The 21 days sitting process of a hen on its eggs is called incubation. So after 21 days, what happens? The chickens come from the eggs. So let's have a look. Here you can see life cycle of a hen, eggs. After 21 days, the chick coming out of the egg, it becomes a proper chick and then a hen. Growth of plants. Not only animals and human beings, but also plants have their developmental phases. A seed gradually grows into a plant. So this is also a life cycle of a plant. We basically saw a seed, then it becomes a bit more bigger, then it bigger, and then a plant, and then it becomes a complete one. Some plants like rose grow from their cuttings instead of seeds. So it depends on what plant you are sowing. Sometimes the process is reversed. So this is basically the text from the developmental phases of living things or living beings, in which we had studied about life cycle of a butterfly, of a frog, of a hen, that is, in which we learned about incubation process, which is about 21 days sitting on eggs. Then the growth of plants. Next we have its exercise. So let's have a look. The first one says give short answers. So you have to give short answers of this. Then tick the correct answer. You have to find out which answer is correct. And then you have to mention the names of a frog. So let's start. You have to give short answers for exercise 1. It says, what are different phases in the life cycle of a butterfly? So kids, as you remember, there are 4 phases in the life cycle of a butterfly. That starts with egg, moves to larva, then pupa, and then butterfly. So let's start over here. So here we have 4 developmental cycles or phases of a butterfly: eggs, larva, pupa, and butterfly. What is meant by incubation? When a hen sits for 21 days on its egg, it's called incubation. So let's write. So when a hen sitting on her eggs for 21 days. So when a hen sitting on her eggs for 21 days, it is called incubation. Which plants can be grown from their cuttings? Rose plants can be grown from their cuttings. So these are the short answers for these 3 questions. Let's move ahead. You have to tick the correct answer. It is not part of life cycle of a butterfly. Pupa, leaf, larva. Leaf is not the part of life cycle of a butterfly, so we are going to highlight it. Next is the offspring of a hen is called chicken, calf, tadpole. Chicken. The hen incubates her eggs for 18 days, 22 days, 21 days. 21 days. Next, we have been given a life cycle of a frog, in which we have to write the names of their different phases of development. So kids, you have to do it on your own, as the answer is clearly given in one of the pages of the same chapter, so that you can check whether you comprehend the unit or not. That's all from today's video. I'll be back with some more. Till then, take care of yourselves. Bye.